Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now, see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's going to be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life.
What does a morning look like for you at the moment? Have you got a routine of some kind?
Yes, I run every single morning. So that's
what time are you up? When are you waking up?
I'm up about 5:30. So every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that, you are now letting in poison and cancer. So I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, look at that phone, I'm ready. So basically the 40% rule is I am a strong believer that we quit. Because why? How the f*** is a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. One that God came down here and said, hey, guess what, man? You're a fat, but I'm gonna now make you a bad. I'm gonna miracle this to be a bad. No, it was in me. I had to believe to make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that. So the 40% rule is like we have like a car. Some cars have a governor on it. And when you get to like 92 miles an hour, that car start doing this because it can't go any faster. We have that ability in this, but we have put this governor on our minds. Mind, you gotta take that off.
Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much.
I haven't met anyone with a brother who works together as well or as perfectly as me and Andrew do. And I just find that really hard to believe. And, you know, I try to push this on younger people as well. You know, not just maybe your biological brother, but even your friends, like teaming up with other men and having strong male friendships with other dudes is one of the most important things in life. Like you could, the idea of just being a complete lone wolf by yourself, I don't think is healthy. And I don't think it's the most effective way to live.
Ultimately, the key factor for me wasn't whether or not I was ready. It was the fact that if I wasn't ready, I was determined to figure out how to get ready. And ultimately, even if I was ready, I still need to improve anyway, right? So the work's not going to stop. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently, right? Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just basically sick of the grind, what do I do on those days? I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project, I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah, I get up and get out of bed.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. It's not what happens. What happens happens to us all. The key is what you do about it. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it.
We're in a small group one night discussing some things, and he says, man, you're selfish. I was like, me? I'm like, no, man, I'm probably one of the most unselfish people you know. He was like, no, man, like, you're selfish. You think your injury and what happened to you is just about you. I was like, it happened to me. He was like, no, but you thinking it's just about you. He was like, no, ain't. He was like, the things we go through in life, man, they're not just for us, right? Once we get to a place of peace and we figure out how to deal with it, it's our responsibility to go out and share that.
Right.
Because other people go through things, right? Other people are fighting. Just go out and share it. And it was the first time I had got hit with something to where I pondered it, right? To where I was like, you make a nice point. Yeah.
What I've understood is that what people are doing has nothing to do with me. I should always be a step ahead because I'm thinking differently, because I'm thinking about myself. Making myself better puts me in a position to make others better. Be the example, not the problem. The best way to take away the problem is to alienate yourself from it.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Because you need to have a hierarchy of improvement. You need to be aiming for something, and that means you're going to be lesser than people who've already attained along that dimension.
Yes.
And that can give rise to envy. So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is, you should defeat your former self.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
Great ideas are never going to interrupt you. They have to be pursued. And if you don't pursue them, you're going to get what everybody else has, which is all this fear, all this uncertainty, all this stuff that won't work, because everybody's focused on what won't work, what can't happen. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try and feel like they're not enough. So you got to stand guard of that mind by feeding your mind. You've got to constantly find a way to feed that mind, something that's got strategy in it, philosophy, something that's going to improve the quality of your life. And if you really learn it, you can help the people you love with the things you learn.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing at a park bench. It could mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way.
You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment.
I hear it all the time. Goggins has a great message, but you don't want to end up like him. His body's all f***ed up. Well, this f***ed up body just got to run a 120-mile week, 2,000 pull-ups, 4,000 push-ups, and hundreds of reps at the gym. You're not afraid of having a f***ed up body. You're afraid of the effort. We're all being tested. And that road to success is a bumpy road. A lot of you are going to die with a nicely preserved body. No plates, no bad knees, no bruises, no scars. You also have an empty resume. Stay hard.
The first thing I do is always whatever's the most difficult. You know, my original teacher, Jim Rohn, used to always say, you know, there's 2 pains in life, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. He goes, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Most things that are going to give you the greatest reward require discomfort initially.
Failure is something that you should be afraid of. But that's why you should go out there and challenge yourself to fail. Because if you're not failing at something, that means you've set your goals to pass, to succeed at everything you do. which means you're not setting your goals high enough.
Nothing's like squats. Nothing compares to squats. You can do leg presses, but why? Why do an inferior movement? Why do a movement that looks good, but it produces hardly any results? I don't care how much weight you can use. I'd rather do 3 good plates, get in 15, 20 good reps, and reap the benefit. I mean, there's a reason people don't squat. It's hard. It's hard. People don't want what's hard. They want what's easy, what looks showy. Forget about it. In fact, forget about the weight. Just squat correctly like you just did. That is the secret to it.
Weak people hate strong minds. And there's an infestation of weak people in this world. The goal of weak people is to silence you. So what they do to you is to isolate you. The more they isolate you, the more you want to put you want to sew up your mouth right in the middle. You start speaking out both sides of your mouth. You don't stand for And eventually what happens is, they make you so soft, you go bobblehead. You start to shake your head yes, forever they want. Speak your truth. Don't be a bobblehead. Stay hard.